This is a Saturday Morning TVLog from Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews.
Welcome to another Saturday Morning TV Log, and this time around it's the new Fred Barney Show, brought to us by Hanna-Barbera.
Greetings, my fellow YouTubers. I'm Doyle, the Big D to you. This is Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So this week's Saturday Morning TV Log is the new Fred Barney Show, a revival and spin-off of the Flintstones. The show originally premiered in mid-season in February of 1979 on the NBC, marking this their first time to come to the Peacock network. Well, their first news show, but it'd be their second time overall because the network had recently aired reruns of the original primetime series after ABC had canceled it in '66. But anyway, this was their comeback. The series also marked the first time Henry Corrin performed the voice of Fred Flintstone for a regular series. This was a few years after the death of Alan Reed, the original voice of Fred. Anyway, these new episodes were composed of the traditional Flintstones cast of characters such as Fred and Barney showed up Pebbles and Bam Bam as toddlers after having been depicted as teenagers on the Pebbles and Bam Bam show. Now, the following year, they would return to the form of teenagers in a way on the Flintstone comedy show the next year, as I've already mentioned. Now, some plots were familiar Flintstone stories, while others consisted of new misadventures with witches, werewolves, and I don't know what have you. Plus, a lot of spoofs of late 1970s fads. Now then, I will say it's a pretty fun show and what have you. I remembered watching this because after the show ended, it had aired on the USA Cartoon Express. It also got shown on the Back to Bedrock block on Cartoon Network, but without any intro or closing. But Boomerang would later air it, and it would be restored with the intro and closing. However, unfortunately, USA and Boomerang actually did not use the original Rainbow HB because this was Hanna-Barbera's last series to use the Rainbow HB before they went to the ever popular Swirling Star. Anyway, now this can be hard to explain and what have you, but I'd say this would be the Flintstones' fourth overall series and what have you, and uh, and its theme is done in the same style of music as is, but in a different key and what have you. That version of well, a little bit of the words of the theme would later be used for the Flintstone specials that Hanna-Barbera would do the next year or later on. But I'll talk about those another time. Anyway, the show had 10 episodes produced and aired, and, well, they were just pretty good in some ways. They would go on to do a second season with 7 more episodes later on that year. However, it would be under Fred and Barney Meet the Thing. But again, I'm going to save that for a future episode where it featured the Marvel superhero The Thing from the Fantastic Four. Which I'll give you just a little bit of talk about this. Since the Flintstones and other Hanna-Barbera characters had some comics done by Marvel at the time. So that would explain why the Thing was in there. But I'll explain more when I talk about the show later on down the road. But anyway, after an overall total of 17 episodes, the show came to an end in October of 1979. But again, it would continue on as soon later on, the Fred and Barney Meet the Thing program would be changed to Fred and Barney Meet the Shmoo, where it would include not just the Thing, but reruns of the new, and the remaining few episodes of the new Shmoo, which premiered the same year. Anyway, now Aside from our main characters, we have Harry Corin making his first appearance as the voice of Fred Flintstone. Now, now this wouldn't be the first time he did Fred and what have you. He actually made his official debut as Fred's voice on the Hanna-Barbera record Saving Mr. Flintstone in 1965. And he also provided his singing voice for The Man Called Flintstone. He'd also do some others. Now let's see here. I'm trying to find this. Now he would actually provide voice acting to, some episodes of the original Flintstones starting in '64. He'd also lent his voice to Johnny Quest, The Secret Squirrel Show, and The Ant Show. And he would do several other shows for Hanna-Barbera as well as some other studios. But mostly he did some others. But now he originally made his first big voice of Fred a couple years before this in the syndicated block Fred Flintstone and Friends. Its intro, possibly wraparounds, but I've never actually encountered that. He also voiced Fred when he made an appearance on Laugh Olympics and on a Flintstone Christmas, the 1977 special, which I have not actually talked about. Maybe I will. We'll see. But anyway, yeah. And he's done other voices. Of course, Corin had recently voiced Sheriff Neil Train Pettigrew in the Buford Files, which was shown on the Yogi Space Race program with Buford Files and the Galloping Ghost the previous year, which was on at the time, I do believe. Of course, Corin also went on to do the vocal effects for Ukla the Mock in Ruby Spears' Thundar the Barbarian the following year. Anyway, now the rest of the cast was mostly the same as before. Mel Blanc once again voices Barney Rubble and the Flintstones' pet Dino. Gene Vanderbilt once again does the voice of Wilma and also provides Pebbles' vocal effects. Now we have Gay Otterson voicing Bay this time. Don Masick provided Bam Bam's vocal effects and various guest characters, and John Stevenson once again voiced Mr. Slate, as well as other various characters. Now, it'd be tough to find this show. This show has yet to be released on physical media, but I don't know whether it's available for streaming and what have you on sites. You're just going to have to try and find that. If you are interested in this show, you can find the intro, however. And I think someone actually does have the closing credits from its later showings and its original showing with the Rainbow HB closing. So anyway, I think the new Fred Barney Show isn't too bad. I don't consider it to be the best Flintstone show, but it manages to do its best. I mean, with providing much more great new stories and what have you, as well as doing some stories that were familiar to you from the original series and what have you. I just think this is a very good show. Anyway, again, after this, there'll be numerous Flintstone specials to come up in prime time, as well as the Flintstone Comedy Show, which I'll talk about that possibly next month. We'll see. Just stay tuned. Details to follow. I haven't started on the December schedule. And then, of course, there was the Flintstone Kids as well. That'll be coming up later on as well. So anyway, what are your thoughts on the new Fred Barney Show? Let me know what you thought about this Flintstones revival in the comment section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. And stay tuned, because tonight I'll be bringing to you my spoiler-free review of Disenchanted. Thanks for watching, and if you like this, check out My Saturday Morning TV logs for the previous two Flintstones series. The upper left-hand corner is the Saturday Morning TV log on the Pebbles and Bandman show from 1971. The upper right-hand corner is the Saturday Morning TV log on the Flintstones Comedy Hour, which I did a couple of weeks back. Or go to the bottom left-hand corner and see last week's Saturday Morning TV log in Yogi's Gang. And the bottom right hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., as well as the Saturday Morning TV log, then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching, and next week's Saturday Morning TV log is
Yogi's Space Race.
So until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.